Right, shall we do a Dagsys Dribble Special? First of all, I'm going to take my vaccination. Here's my key. My key to freedom and my key to free myself from the disease. And look at that. Magical key. Opens my vaccination. Cheers. Ooh, that's good on a bloody hot day. The last Dagsys Dribble I did just a few days ago, I said that I'd do another Dagsys Dribble in a couple of weeks unless the shit hit the fan in the Middle East. Well, it isn't hit the fan in the Middle East, it's hitting the fan worldwide. Well, supposedly. This new coronavirus has got people panicking. At least 42 people have died from a new coronavirus in China following an outbreak in the central city of Wuhan. Wuhan is the capital of the Hubei province in China. It is the largest city in Hubei and the most populous city in central China with a population of over 11 million. The 7th most populous city in China, which is currently in total lockdown. There's conflicting stories from all over the place about this thing. Apparently they're in military lockdown and no one is allowed to leave the city, which makes me wonder about how come we got teachers and students coming here from that city. I'll get to that soon. At least 1,300 cases have been reported as of Saturday, the vast majority in the Chinese city and neighbouring cities. There are growing concerns about the spread of the virus as hundreds of millions of people travel for the Lunar New Year celebrations, which started on Friday. I'm going to give you both sides of the story because there is conflicting stories coming from all over the place. National's health spokesperson has come out today blasting our health minister David Clark over his preparations for the outbreak. National MP Michael Woodhouse has called for the government to implement precautionary measures to manage the risk of the deadly coronavirus, blasting David Clark and Julie Anne Genter in the process. On Saturday, 4 cases of the virus were confirmed across the Tasman, arriving with infected passengers currently travelling from Wuhan, China. Woodhouse, National's spokesman for health, outlined several steps to help proactively manage the risk of a coronavirus outbreak in New Zealand. Steps, he says, need to start now. It is not too late. These steps that can be taken to manage this risk and hopefully prevent the virus from coming into New Zealand if it isn't here already, Woodhouse said in a media briefing today. The MP said a passenger who travelled from China to Auckland last night reported to him that nearly everyone on board were wearing masks as a precautionary measure and were expecting more information on arrival. When they arrived at Auckland Airport, they were expecting to be screened and have information provided to them. There was none. I understand there is a small amount of information in Chinese at Auckland Airport, but of course we live in a global world, Woodhouse said. Certainly they should be screened for symptoms. Now, speaking of masks, if this does hit over here, don't get one of these flimsy masks I just got to use as a prop in this. Do get yourself some Corona if you like though. If you're going to get a mask, get a N95 mask. It protects you from 95% of airborne pathogens. I just called into Mitre 10 YE and they are out of stock of the N95s, but they've got them coming in. So check your local pharmacies and Mitre 10s. Mitre 10 have them for $10.95 for 2. Now this blasting from the national spokesperson came after this headline on News Hub from the 24th. Teachers and students from Wuhan to visit New Zealand while deadly coronavirus spreads. Ooh, that's scary, isn't it? Teachers and university students from the Chinese city of Wuhan, which is being ravaged by the deadly coronavirus, are set to visit New Zealand, according to a report. Which makes me scratch my head, because the city is in total military lockdown, so it makes me wonder how they're going to get out of there in the first place. The virus originated in the central Chinese city of Wuhan late last year and has spread to Chinese cities including Beijing and Shanghai, as well as the US, Thailand, South Korea, Japan and Australia. China has confirmed 830 cases of patients infected with the virus as of Friday. There is also many conflicting reports on the actual death toll and infected. TVNZ has reported that around 100 teachers and students from Wuhan are due to make their way to New Zealand in 2020, some of those due to touch down in the next few weeks. Canterbury, Massey and Auckland are said to be the universities that will host those arriving. Now, over the last few days I've come across a couple of reports from inside China, from Wuhan. These are unverified reports, so don't take this too seriously. This is from a person in Wuhan. Current status of the medical staff's arranged changing of protective clothing from noon till 9. Everyone is scared of eating, drinking or use the bathroom in fear of taking off protective gears. Everyone is wearing their last set of protective gear. Resources are very scarce, most depleted. Medical personnel are protecting Wuhan. Whom will protect the medical personnel? We are on the verge of collapsing. Outpatient department filled with patients, some kneeled down on the floor and begging us to save them. But right now there is no special medication to treat this virus. Individual can only survive with fighting his/her immune system. Our protective gears are being completely depleted. Protective cloth, face mask, hat, glove, full face mask, goggle have all been depleted. Hospital has no high up in charge, not enough medical supplies, haven't eaten all day. Many people died and no one is collecting, removing corpses. No internet, no call signal. Any doctors tried to quit will have medical licence revoked. What kind of human would do this? Implying the doctor would lose his licence as punishment. And then here is a separate one from a person in Wuhan from the 22nd. I am Chinese from Wuhan. No one can leave the city or into the city. Total cases here is 170 dead, over 5,000 infected. So there you go. We're told in the media that 40 dead people in Wuhan are saying 170 dead there just in Wuhan, and that was on the 22nd. So who to believe? We cannot believe the Chinese government because they are known to cover up stuff like this. We cannot leave the city anymore. We cannot allow others to enter. The army is guarding all exit entry points. All forms of mass transport have been locked down, including the airport. I've seen soldiers in full hazmat suits here from my second floor apartment. They are spraying something fluid on the streets via large trucks using water cannons. Using VPN here is not allowed to talk, criticise about the virus. Jail sentence is sure if one does. Our colleagues counted over 5,000 cases within the city centre as of 1 PM yesterday, and that would have been the 21st. There is panic and chaos in all Wuhan hospitals. People are disappearing with no trace and no bodies. Now, speaking about hospitals, the Chinese are currently building very quickly a 1,000 bed hospital to deal with this crisis. So the Chinese do seem to be taking it seriously if they're putting a hospital up in 5 days. And today I saw there was talk of a second hospital as well, so back to the mainstream media. Daily Mail in Australia has reported that US health experts hosted a fictional coronavirus pandemic tabletop exercise simulation to see how authorities would react. 3 months before the outbreak in China. There is a US patent on this virus dating back to 2012, so that raises more suspicions. As usual, I'll be posting links down there in the description box. I ran across a petition today urging the New Zealand government to stop these Chinese students and teachers coming into New Zealand. I'll post the link to that petition as well. So we'll have a look at the other side of the story, eh? Cheers. Today David Icke reposted an article from another website. Reality check, coronavirus fear porn. China is shutting down, or so we are being told. Cities are on lockdown, Disneyland is closed, New Year is cancelled. Every day China closes down more theatres and more public spaces in their desperate attempts to thwart the speed of this terrible coronavirus. The headlines tell us the virus is mutated and that China's lockdown is affecting 33 million people. The Telegraph morbidly warns that it is highly likely coronavirus is already in the UK, whilst CNET tells us the death toll is spiking. It all sounds very scary. The reality is that 40 people have died. For comparison's sake, 80,000 people died of flu in 2018 in the United States alone. Coronavirus, or rather this particular strain of coronavirus, as they are very common and mostly harmless, has had 800 reported cases to go along with those 40 reported deaths. That's a mortality rate of just over 3%. Further, we don't even know the details of these 40 unfortunate patients. It's entirely possible the deaths are accounted for by the very old, the very young, or immunocompromised. But even if they're not, 3% mortality is not high. The simple reality is that this new virus strain is currently affecting a group of people the size of a small primary school and has killed fewer than a bad traffic pile-up or a medium-sized drone strike. So why the lockdown and why the fear? Usually that means at least one agenda, maybe more. So I'll throw the link down there to that one and you can check out where that originated from. And also New York Post has reported, don't buy the media hype over the new China virus. A CNN reporter broadcast from Wuhan, China on the recent viral outbreak. There is nobody near who could possibly infect him, unless the cameraman has Guinness Book of Records coughs and sneezes. So why does he insist on wearing a blue surgical mask while talking? It's called drama, which is badly needed because there appears to be nothing very special about this outbreak. It should actually be called the DVV, or Deja Vu, because we've been through these hysterias before, over and over. Heterosexual AIDS, Ebola, repeatedly. The swine flu that was actually vastly milder than the regular flu, and especially severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS. Once you start debunking mass hysteria over outbreaks, it gets easier because the same patterns repeat themselves. The best remedy for all epidemic hysteria is perspective. How is this new outbreak different and thus potentially more dangerous from other diseases we have dealt with in the past or are dealing with now? So yes, that shows you that you do need to keep an open mind, do your research, look at both sides of the story, not just with this, but with anything. Look at both sides of the story, do your own research, and come to your own conclusion. And a tweet I found today too, coronavirus is man-made and patented. Magically already had a vaccine in the pipeline made by China. Number 1, make a virus. Number 2, work with CDC government and media to create fear. Number 3, fast track vaccine based on false fear by US FDA. Number 4, require it for all who travel. So it could be just a setup to start vaccinating us more. Here's my vaccination. So there you go, peeps. Look at both sides of the story. Don't believe everything you hear. Do your own research. Keep an open mind and search for the facts. But in the meantime, if it does hit New Zealand and you are worried, get yourself an N95 mask, not one of these flimsy things that'll go. They're only $10 for two at Mitre 10, and I'm sure pharmacies will have them as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure pharmacies will have them. Keep healthy, eat well, drink plenty of water, don't get stressed, because that's when your health levels will lower and you become more susceptible to disease. Keep your vitamins up. I've got some of these multivitamins that I'm taking just to keep my vitamins up, just in case. It can never be too safe. So take it easy, peeps. Cheers. Hope it's not too bloody hot out there for you. It's hot here. See yous again soon. Thanks for watching, and check out the links down there.